welcome back, guys. You are watching GGEZ Wave 2. I am the fabulous Mika Fabs, and I am joined by the likable Laika Mea. O, diba? Ang ganda ng wordplay natin sa names. And we are your hosts today, and we are now here. Nandito na tayo sa semifinals natin. And it is going to be Super BNDS versus Sad Boys and Girl.
Ayan, excited ako dito kasi feeling ko isa to dun sa mga fun matches na pwede natin mapanood. Kanina itong Sad Boys and Girl, nakita naman natin kung gaano kasaya yung laban nila. Napakagulo and excited ako sa mga crosshair na maaari nating makita sa laban na to. Especially with Batman going up against Super MJ. Kanina pa lang sa chat natin, nagkakagulo na talaga tong dalawang to. So what more na magkakaharap na sila ngayon sa labanan. So what do you think on this matchup, Mika?
Exactly. I agree. Kanina pa sila nag-exchange ng mga comments sa comment section, 'di ba? At ayun pa si Borcom tsaka si Dubstep, baka may crosshair wars naman tayo dito, 'di ba? So, let's check out our team profiles over here. Once again, we have Team Sad Boys and Girl na sana maging happy din. Syempre si Batman, Bods, Reika, Rabbit, and Dubstep.
Gonna be moving on to their opponent for this matchup. That's gonna be Super BNDS. Here we have Disenya, Squammy, Nuts About Gaming, Super MJ, and Borcom. Ayan na naman, sinasabi na naman ni Borcom na it's time to start the game. Excited na.
Oo nga, guys. It's time. Nakaturo na sa orasan niya. And I believe we are going to be discussing our map bans over here. So, I think just first off the bat, we have Super BNDS banning Split. So, no more Split. Team Sad Boys and Girl banning Ascent. Super BNDS banning Bind, and Team Sad Boys and Girl banning Icebox. Ayaw nyo talaga sa Icebox.
Yeah. Pero parang first time natin makikita yung Haven for the day. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mika. Have we seen it today?
Yes.
Parang hindi...
We haven't seen it yet.
Not yet, no? So ito na. A, B, and C naman ang masuspectate natin ngayon. Baka makakita tayo ng more Cobra plays from Super MJ.
Baka nga. Let's get to it. Haven is a place on Earth. Casters, take us over there.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Borcom time because we're going to Game 1, the semifinals, Game 1. It's Borcom time. Yeah, that's what he's saying. I love it. But anyway, talaga nag-iinit yung both teams na to. Players on either side. You got Super MJ na talagang cobra kanina. You got Rabbit, who was playing out of his mind as well. This was actually two incredible teams so far that have exhibited natural synergy on either side. So I'm really curious, Ling, to see what they can do against each other here.
Oh, well, you definitely have to see that. So far, given that the agent composition is gonna be a good way to go to even start things out for this game, makikita natin isang mabilis dito. Rabbit once again with the Soba. I'm pretty sure he's quite comfortable here. And then again, parang based on the matches that we've seen coming out from these two teams, I would definitely see one thing's for sure. Like individually, mechanical skill talaga ang makita ko. So far, ang pinagtutuusan ng side ng Team Super BNDS. But for the side of Team Sad Boys and Sad Girls, they have quite a different approach in actually playing out this tournament. They played out a pretty fun startup, but then again, they definitely know when and where they should definitely be able to step up regardless of whoever going to be playing up against. Parang masasabi mo, they definitely has sprinkle a little bit of fun here on towards their matches, and of course on towards their lineups, on towards their matches talaga, na makikita mo that these players are not just going to be here for the prize pool, but also here to have fun. Let's not even forget, it's 25,000 pesos going to be on the line, and all of which talaga we have to consider that these players are basically going to be playing with each other almost the first time together, I might have to say, but still going to be making things work coming out from their team.
Yeah, both teams have had equal amounts of time to practice, but of course, again, some teams just go well more than the other. So it seems like Dubstep going to be on that right now. You know how devastating he is on that. Bod's going to be on the duelist yet again. Rabbit, though, going to be on a bit of a role swap on his Sova pick over here. As for the side of the attackers for Borkum and crew. It's more of a standard meta fare right there, but it seems like there's a bit of banter going on between the two teams. Hala! 8 seconds na lang mga kaibigan, magsisimula na ang ating semifinals best of 1. SBNG versus BNDS. Bit of a mouthful trying to say those team names, but it seems that Borkum is going to be on the aggression over here as Bod's looking to secure Garage.
Well, this has to be a huge change of pace na ginagawa dito ng for the side of the attacking, given that they are going to be going in for the slow, methodical push, I might have to say. Of course, this is going to be their way to attempt talaga na manganga pa sa playstyle na ginagawa na for the defending side. A huge opening that they could actually try to make is going to be making things completely possible for them, especially when they're going in for the explosive side things. But for the side of Nuts About Gaming, you should definitely see them clearing out on towards the B side. Of course, might actually be inclining more on towards his side take.
Now, I really like what they're trying to do here. They're trying to go for a B-side execute onto the first round. Desanya going to be tremoring over there into a link, but it looks like SBNG going to be heavy stacking that garage link over there. Batman going to be taking out Nuts About Gaming, as well as Desanya. Rabbit takes 1-2, and some quick trades all around here, but Borkum is going to be left all alone as Reika closes out the round. Link, that was just such a clean round for SBNG. BNDS had a really good idea taking down B-side, but just wasn't enough.
I mean, it was basically just them having a really awkward engagement, I might have to say, after even coming out with that objective. Like, planting the spike is going to be good all in zone, but it's going to be still going to be boiling down to how much solid that you're going to be playing out this post-plant situations. I mean, I might have to say, it was mostly the defending side swarming their way in, not really giving anyone any amount of time to even have that setup still to even happen. It was supposed to be completely doable for them, but it just so happens that they couldn't even play their cards right, given that that's so much pressure talaga na ina-apply para sa kanila.
Reika, though, going to be smoking out C-Long over here. BNDS, once again, going for that slow, methodical approach, coming into this post-pistol round, which is quite surprising to see. Usually, if you lose the first round, you're going to be going for the rush, but perhaps, again, nagkakaramdaman nga dito yung mga players natin. Of course, they want to figure out what the best play is. Again, this is already the semifinals, so things tend to get a little bit more seriously.
So they are going to be starting things out very seriously here, given that they haven't really given it any amount of time to even go in for those flash peaks. Dubstep getting 2 so far. Quick headshots with that goes going to be making things happen. And the spray down with the stinger here para sa race natin is definitely going to be enough. 3K on the board para sa reyna natin dito. And it's a great way to start for us to actually see on how much the agents here are going to be up to its full use, especially in terms of their kids.
Dubstep really putting in the work right there, stopping the push of BNDS completely, of course, with the assist from Bods. Very, very timely as well. Looks like he's going to be opting for a judge, just holding down the garage. That's going to be his home for now on. It's going to be perhaps a really tough take for BNDS if they decide to go for that, but it seems like they might be favoring an A execute here, as Borkum going to be taking a forward position onto a short here. Super MJ taking down Bods really early.
You definitely see them having that super straightforward approach here coming out in this garage push. But then again, they really have to make things a little bit more clear, and I might have to say polish on those still and try to even play around each other just so well, because Super Envy, I mean, he's going to be doing wonders unlike individually. But then again, the 4 players of their team are basically going in for those late rotations. But of course, he's going to be going in for that dismiss. Rabbit with the quick reflect, I might have to say. He's going to be able to pick out that Vandal. But then again, for the side of BNDS, they're going to be planting their way on towards A side. Borkum is going to be making sure Heaven is not going to be there for the taking. Post blind is going to be on its way. But for the side of Abadman, he has nothing left on his kit so far. He could actually try to even contest any further on towards A Heaven, and that's when he made sure on winning that one out. He could actually put out the threat to even go in for the first contact. There goes the breach, further zone everyone out. And of course, he's not only going to be getting enough info, but also the huge tag downs on towards A short players. Controllers was going to be definitely going to be coming into play to further isolate the side. And we are going to be seeing Rabbit making frags happen, picking out Squammy out of that swing. There goes the breach flash. And of course, the Sanya making things happen once again. Quick flash here and there. And of course, quick tap to the head is definitely going to be enough for him. but not so about gaming. Being left alone for around this clutch, but Abanavan doesn't
Oh
even have
my
enough time to
gosh.
even go for the defuse. The only thing that he could actually do is get that 3 piece on the board and still not gonna be able to make that effort to even win out the round.
At the very least, making a dent to the economy of the opposing team. You got to give it to a Batman there. That was such a valiant effort, getting a lot of kills during that retake attempt. And it was so crucial that he was able to take down Borkum. The timing over there in heaven, but just not enough time in the end to secure the round. 2-1 now. BNDS, though a very costly round, now they're going to be on a bit of a broken bye here. The point on the board is what matters the most. Let's see if they can actually use this to mount a comeback.
Well, they definitely can. It's so early. It's so early point of this game to even determine who's going to be able to take out more leads on towards these rounds. I mean, you definitely see them having a few exchanges in terms of the abilities here, but that's basically the only effort that he could give out so far. Especially when you're playing out for the defending side, you cannot risk your life so much on towards this game, given that you have 3 sides to even fend for. You gotta value your life so much on towards this game because playing this one on a 4v5 is almost completely undoable. But for then again, we are going to be seeing Reika solid hold on towards Seaside, and you could definitely see her picking out 2 in the process of even going in for this hold. But then again, we are going to be seeing a fault line play that could definitely become useful, especially when there's going to be someone who's going to be trying to go in for the quick follow-up. But unfortunately, for the side for BNDS, they're trying to reassess the situation through I thought these more abilities coming out from the side of the defending, and they could actually try to
Oh my God.
get more info. Reika! For already, that Colat was so dirty coming out from her. Now
30
Super
seconds
MJ really has to stay alive at this point. An ace being denied. There goes the quick devour. Even going for the overheal, but unfortunately, he was too distracted coming out from that utility from the Killjoy. And of course, SB&G running away with a single round to go.
I mean, that's a really tricky thing about dealing with a Killjoy and trying to break through those utilities. Sometimes, natatimian ka when you try to destroy that trap, all of a sudden the opponent peaks, and that's just exactly what happened to Super MJ. I mean, he definitely had the potential to be able to clutch out the round right there, popping that Empress after getting a kill onto Reika, which had a stunning performance during that previous round. But so far, SBNG showing a really strong performance here. Lockdown and Hunter's Fury in place as well. They're poised to continue their onslaught here in Haven.
But for this time around, they already have this rolling thunder that could be completely doable for them. They could use that to their advantage and have this full potential of completely disabling this open seaside. That of course the hold here nagaling all the way from garage window Nessie Reika, which is the only problem that they basically have to deal with, given that the Sentinel players are to be doing the best they can to even further spread out this setup coming out from the Killjoy. But Abatman is making 3 frags even happen on towards this game, going for this proactive defense on towards B side. 4 on the board for him. He's gonna be out for the ace on towards this game.
Is he going to be able to get a tournament highlight here as he goes for the ace? He does get it. Tap onto Borkum's head. That makes 5. I mean, a Batman just showing everybody what he's made of. 11-1 on the KD scoreboard link. Kanina pa siya nag-iinit during the previous matches that we had earlier on tonight. Batman was just incredible. You know, here's the thing. When you have a Sentinel top frag, I mean, usually that isn't a good thing, but in this case, a Batman is just putting in a lot of work. Again, that proactive defense really working towards his favor. At this point in time, SB&G just have to keep up what they're doing because it's working really, really well.
I mean, you definitely see how much of like a resilient anchor player that how a Batman actually is. But the fact that he's out in the equation here makes BNDS get that Q done. They could actually take out B side. I mean, A side, I have to say, with the utility, the setup could be completely useless at this point. And wala ng Killjoy na kailangan nilang problemahin. It's all left for the 4-man retake here coming out from the side of Team SBNG. How will they play this out? They definitely have those 2 flush that could come into play para sa kanila. But best thing that he could do is actually play with this one out around the recon ball. They really need to even get that further information. Super Envy, sinusubukan para makapag-cobra. There goes the fault line. Counter Paranoid to even deny anyone here to even go in for the push. Flight play coming out from the race, but unfortunately, the shot's gonna connect to on towards the first one. Squammy all the way defending on towards the hell, but unfortunately, there's no follow-up coming in from the team. He's gonna be going in for the swing, but unfortunately, Reika is no match for that 3 player who's gonna be going in for that peak.
I mean, SBNG tried to do everything they can. They used that recon to try and gain a bit of information. It was a good effort from bots to just fly onto site and open it up for that retake attempt. But the post-plant effect was just too powerful for the side of BNDS. And still, they have a showstopper. They have Neural Theft. They still have that Rolling Thunder. They could take this round yet again. But let's not forget about the lockdown that might set SBNG for a very comfortable retake coming in this round. But it seems like if a Batman gets taken out early on the round, then SBNG really changes its pace right here. But as I say that, Reika and Dubstep get a couple of early picks, maintains their man advantage.
There's gonna be a huge enough effort for the side of SPNG. Mukhang dito natin makita they could actually make easy frags happen on towards this narrow passageway, which is CeeLo. The Reyna being low on HP, a quick swing area there, and a few bullets to the head is definitely gonna be enough to even shut you down any further. And that was gonna be a quick round coming out from this defending side. Really great effort for them to shut down any further talaga sa ginagawa ng team ng BNDS. Mid control is not gonna be a good way to go for them. And this we're actually gonna be seeing them that the Reyna really had so much trouble. Nag-corner na sa Kabi and there's literally nothing that he could do. And of course naman, Super MG had to admit that because Abatman is basically on the other side of the team. And of course naman, you definitely know how these players really love to connect with each other.
Hindi ko nga alam kung pwede kong basahin yung mga chat nila ngayon. But we're gonna go into the next round here. They try to molly out and secure a window. Dubstep though, gonna be taking out Super MJ. And again, taking out that duelist, taking out that Reyna really early on in the round, preventing that snowball is huge. But Dubstep going to be taken out by Borkham Rabbit onto Squammy right here. 2v4 mga kaibigan, as Borkham taking down Rabbit, making that a 2v3. Still winnable for BNDS. Let's see if he actually gets the spike onto Borkham and rotates using that from the shadows.
Well, the only problem that we're seeing here so far for the side of BNDS is that they lost so many people on towards the early parts of this round, which is honestly a problem that they really should be dealing with because the fact that they haven't even gotten anyone that put them on towards this manpower disadvantage already puts them in a pretty tight spot. They have minimal utilities even left around to play with, and it's still gonna be left on the hands of Borkham. He's a completely reliable player on his own, but the fact that he's gonna be dealing with this once again, it's completely doable. It just so happens that he really needs more effort coming out from teammates to make this completely back to his favor. Just how we're going to be seeing him playing on this high ground advantage. Abatman not really sure on where to look, but of course there's going to be a cautious peek coming out from Reika, and of course he's going to be going in for this ace clutch to even happen. There's Paranoid to even zone out any further. Now Killjoy dito was going to be defending his life here, still on towards hell. The turret being the first one to even go in for the contact. They're going to be delaying this fight to even happen. Spray down does not connect at all, and Abatman still prevailing that duel just right behind that smoke.
I mean, that was a good call from Borkham, smoking out that turret, just trying to go for that aim duel right there, but a Batman just looking too hot today. Borkham, though, that was such a good attempt, and if anybody could clutch that situation, it would definitely be Borkham. It was flashing right before my eyes. I was about to say, it's Borkham time, my friends, but unfortunately it was a no-go for him. So it seems like SPNG still maintaining their really good lead over here in the first half.
Good lead, man. You would definitely say that this is gonna be a good matchup for sure. Might have to say, like, going big on the defense says a lot on where your team could actually go. It plays a huge role on how you're basically gonna be gaining confidence, especially when the tables have turned and finally gonna be playing in for attacking. But then again, we are seeing a play once again coming here from Abatman. Spray through the walls, definitely gonna be enough for him to secure more frags on towards this game. And of course, there goes the backup coming in from his teammates. But he's gonna be contesting in for grass. Goes in for the spray just right behind the box, but Rabbit is taking that away. That quick knife on towards the back, towards Sanya. It's gonna be huge disrespect, and of course trigger the opposing team any further.
Oh my god, it's heating up in the in-game chat right now, as you can see that the banter between the teams are indeed heating up. But the cool thing about SBNG is that they're mixing up their aggression and, of course, balancing it out with the more passive defense. When BNDS doesn't expect it, SBNG just pushes out and gets those early picks, securing the round in a very, very quick fashion. And again, this is what you be wanting to do with dubstep on that arena.
But there is literally nothing much you can do. SBNG literally just knows already the pacing that BNDS wants them to play around with. Kahit may kita mo na that they've been really frugal with their ultimates. This is where we actually gonna be calling for those type of plays. We're literally gonna be calling for those type of abilities that could become useful on towards these games. Ano yung kita we're gonna be seeing slowly, one by one, napipitas ng isang mabilisan, especially when they are gonna be picking one by one para sa larong to, which is honestly not to be a favorable thing. You really need to utilize mostly on towards those flash picks and of course go in for trades, but it's not gonna be happening for the team. They're still gonna be down to 2 players, and SPNG, you definitely see them having so much map control all the way on towards A long and A short, literally not giving anyone to even go in for that push on towards that. No sight for them to actually penetrate in. And the Killjoy, Amatman, is still gonna be a problem here. The Killjoy could actually do a lot more than he should, given he has a lot more on towards his kit. The turret could actually go in for the first contact peek once again, but he's playing on this really sticky angle. Spots up one, goes in for the quick tap, so unfortunately the shots don't connect at all. Super MJ, 3 on the board para sa kanya.
He's been putting in the work in this round. They had the right idea, rotated on to see the spike was left in a really bad spot, but they were able to take control of it. Rabbit going for the retake now. Let's see if he can actually get a pick here. As Dubstep takes down Nutspot Gaming on default. Now it's all going to be about Super MJ going to be... Oh, he's going to be taken down by Dubstep. Dubstep just being an unstoppable force in this match right now. Absolutely instrumental to the domination that SBNG is showing right here.
Right, it's just a completely different element when you actually have a star player on towards your team and basically doing all the work. And not only that, you definitely see how much of a connection they currently have, especially when you have a sentinel that basically is familiar with basically any ability that there is on towards the side. Abadman doing all the plays, but same goes on towards the other side of the map where the information is kicking in for Dubstep to even play around with. I mean, he's quite confident in playing out this aggressive plays on towards A-Short because alam niya that there's gonna be a huge backup and nagagaling kami nga from this Sova. So much infill plays that are gonna be coming here para sa larong to, and you could definitely see having more structure on towards your gameplays, and of course more side takes that are gonna be going on towards C, where we actually gonna be seeing them forcing out the swarm grenades to actually be deployed, but there's literally no need for that. They're gonna be having a straightforward approach, going for gunplays alone, and of course Super MJ, not really sure on where he's gonna be going for next, but then again, they don't even have flashes at this point to even play around with. Bods having no problem at all, goes in for the flight play, but of course naman, there's no need for that because there's gonna be Squammy laying out the frags all the way for him, and of course naman, finishing this round with 3 kills on the board para sa kanya.
Desanya finally letting go of that Rolling Thunderling. I mean, they were really frugal with their ultimate abilities in the previous round. Unfortunately, when he pulled it off, they weren't really able to capitalize off of that Rolling Thunder. And it was a bit of an awkward to execute onto C-Site. But again, SBNG is just proving that they are a lot more coordinated coming into this match. And it really, really shows in terms of their aggressive defense plays over here.
You'd see them just not going in one by one.
See what I
There
mean?
goes, we have it. One
Oh
by
my
one,
gosh.
even if you go in for the double pick, Dubstep is completely unstoppable. 2 kills already for
How
this
do you
man.
get
It was not
a-
even a freaking collab for him.
It was like a one tap in like super, super fast succession. Like only Dubstep could pull that off.
But it's just literally something about this man. Of course, about this team. He was looking more on towards the Shurwin lineup. But then again, it was only the last round of the first half. A lot could still happen. I've seen a
Right.
lot of teams choke on towards here on Haven. I might have to say 11 is a cursed number on towards this map, and I've seen a lot of things happen, especially sa mga familiar teams that we've witnessed here before. I mean, might have to say it's not going to be the same case over and over again. I've seen the meta change around these rather the players change around on how the metas are definitely going to be going on towards this game. And of course, this might actually be happening again. And of course, let's not even eliminate the possibility. And of course, the fact that SBNG have been completely dominant at this point. Defensive, they definitely have gone big in that. And imagine the same amount of effort that they have been giving, especially that's going to be coming out here on the larger attacking side.
If BNDS is able to win out this pistol round, this first round in the second half, then they can be set up for a proper comeback here. But Dubstep going to be saying no. Going to be taking down Nuts About Gaming and Super MJ as well, bringing this into a 5v3 scenario in the first round of the second half. And this is going to be really bad for BNDS as Borkum is also down to 27 HP here. Dubstep going to be taking down another one and going for that overheal. And this is why Reyna is raid boss on that pistol round.
I mean, imagine frags plus Reyna, that's a deadly duo on its own. It only means, it only goes to show talaga for this, para kay Dubs, kahit sabihin mo he was playing out that central for too long around his team and giving him the opportunity to play as duelist once again, he is still gonna be effective on that role still. Parang hindi mo talaga nakikita at any point in time during this game na nangungulelat siya. He knows how to play Reyna so well, and I might have to say, siya ang pinakauna, like, rather, Bren was actually one of the first teams that I actually seen include Arena on towards the competitive lineup, and they made it work, and everyone just completely followed through that because how much they've actually tried to put out a trend here on towards his game, on towards the local scene, and of course he's still gonna be making it happen for this one.
I mean, as history repeats itself, usually Bren dictates a lot of what goes on in the current meta as they tend to popularize a trend. Especially, I think it was Dispenser who popularized playing Reyna in the competitive scene. But I digress. Super MJ going to be trying to make things work with the Bucky right here. BNDS try to go for the force buy as they do not want to play for overtime. You definitely do not want to play for that type of scenario. It's less than ideal, to say the least. BNDS, though, down by one man and a tall order ahead of them as SBNG is looking to waste no time in closing this game. Batman trying to get an early pick over here onto mid lane.
Alarm bot out.
Mid lane, of course, going in for the anti-flank once again. Super MJ really has to deal with this alarm bot, and of course, it's quite unfortunate that there's also an agent just right behind this door. Of course, that's the only thing holding everyone back on towards this behind. And para sa side ng BNDS, is gonna be down to one player playing out for this Bucky. Bots with a dirty shot just right behind this book. It's basically meant to shut anyone down any further. And SBNG running this away once again, already with a match point, having so much of a lead, 10 points I might have to say. Of course, the most that BNDS actually do is to spend whatever they can as of the moment to even prevent this lead to even happen any further.
Yeah, it's looking very, very dire for BNDS. A couple of them are on sheriffs. The best they got is a bulldog. It's definitely looking like it's going to be a game for SBNG. They're looking to close this out. Is this a foreshadowing of SBNG's performance in the grand finals? We will find out later on. It looks like in-game chat rather, is saying na magkukobra na yan. Nuts About Gaming trying her best to hold down Garage, but Dubstep going to be going for that flank and gets a 2K onto Borkum. Just absolutely dominant performance right now from SBNG.
Honestly, not looking so good para sa side nila. But of course, Arena could come into play here. You definitely see Dubstep finally it's still gonna be stepping up para sa larong to. But then again, man, 4 Ps to even end things out. There we have it. SBNG taking away this game, and of course, this first map on towards the semifinals.
Team Sad Boys and Girl gonna be pretty happy about that one. Haha. As we take a look at not going to be taking a look at the scoreboard, but of course, it was clearly evident that Dubstep and Batman had a very, very strong performance. But of course, a concerted effort from the entire SBNG team, very coordinated squadron, lots of cohesive plays, especially showcasing their cohesion in their aggressive defense on the first half.
I mean, just by looking at the side of things talaga, especially in how they basically started out the game, you definitely see how confident SBNG are gonna be, especially when they're gonna be starting out on towards that side. Kasi at any point of time, I mean, Dubstep was actually gonna be there. I mean, ready to attack basically. A while ago, parang he took a lot of buffer time. He took a lot of time for himself talaga na makapag warm up, na makapag settle in and mentally be ready for this tournament. But then again, it has been completely different. Siya na alone ang nagdidictate ng pace of the game, and the team just followed through that. They made sure that they're going to be following a leader that could lead their way to victory. And there we have it. I mean, they definitely did deliver. It's a 13-2 dominating stand, and I might have to say, a pretty strong statement to even start things out here on towards the semifinals.
I mean, I couldn't agree with you more there, Ling. It seemed as if they gelled even further coming into that previous match compared to their first showing here, the GGEZ Wave 2 All-Star Invitational. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them face off against one of the last two remaining teams for the grand finals. But again, before that, we're going to be throwing you off to our hosts, Laika and Mika.
Thank you so much, Vyminal and Ling. And there you have it, guys. Sad boys and girl, not so sad, syempre, advancing into our finals. And like, what did you think of that match? I really, really am a fan of the dubstep and a Batman connection here.
Ang ganda ng laban, and I gotta commend Abat with the second ace of the day. Ibang level nga naman tong si Abat. Feeling ko inspired tong kaibigan kong to eh.
Bakit kaya inspired?
Ay,
And
nako.
you know what?
Feeling ko, Mika, mamaya. Ay, sorry. Feeling ko mamaya walang tigil yung trash talk ni Super MJ sa ni Abat sa isa't isa.
Oo nga eh. And you know what? It was just, you could really feel the struggle here, syempre, di ba, for Super BNDS. But, what are you going to do pag wala pang 10 seconds sa match tapos bigla na lang naka 2 frags na si Dubstep, di ba? Yung parang, it's really, hindi man lang yung more, I guess, like the energy of the team na bigla na lang magpapanic and everything. It's the numbers game, of course, and it also hits the team's morale, I feel. So, syempre, that was a big factor, and kudos to Dubstep, syempre, for getting in those amazing frags in, and syempre, yung Dubstep Abatman connection na yan.
Ibang klase. Tingnan mo naman, kahit pa i-double peak nyo, si Dubstep, wala pa rin. Siya pa rin yung lalabang sa inyo. Kaya ang lakas talaga ng performance ng team na to all throughout. Kaya dominated naman talaga itong Super BNDS dun sa game na yan. Pero, syempre, props din sa kanila. Ang ganda ng laban na pinakita nila. Meron talaga silang rounds na kapag nilaro nila, full on, sila yung magdo-dominate dun sa specific round na yan. Pero overall, mas maganda lang siguro yung team composition netong Team Sad Boys and Girl.
That is right. Syempre, if there are, I guess, more time to settle in, more time to think about the team strategies, you can definitely expect great things from Super BNTS. Syempre, nakita natin sila at their prime earlier, and definitely, we are not doubting the skill of all of these players na, di ba, si Super MJ, sabi nga ng comment section, di ba, baka Super MJ yan. Di ba? Yun na yung bagong battle cry, and it's Borkum time and everything. So, but it just comes down to, well, I guess it just comes down to being outplayed right here and right now. And sad boys and girls will be not so sad and advancing into the final.
Woo! Exciting times coming up ahead. Pero alam mo, Mika, feeling ko isa sa mga factors din kung bakit nagtuloy-tuloy yung win ng Team SBNG is because, sabi nila, ayoko na ng overtime. Napagod ako kanina. Pwede bang simulan natin ng strong, tas tapusin na rin natin.
Tapusin na lang natin.
Ganun yung nag-iusapan nila. Enjoy naman yung kanina, pero nakakapagod.
Pwede din na parang alam na nila na parang, okay, pagod na ako, let's do this quickly.
Quickly indeed. Kasi hindi biro yung naging outcome ng game na yun. Napakaganda talaga ng performance. Pero guys, ganyan talaga kasi nandito na tayo sa semifinal. So coming up ahead is another semifinal finals match. So stay tuned for that. We'll be coming back after a short break.